Monday, September 26, 2022. It is a light schedule. We've got a few of these Mondays coming up, and it's just that time of year. But, after, I would say, mid-October, it is all the way through. And actually, Ruffalo Day this year is actually a full NFL card. So he can Ruffalo Christmas Eve again if he wants, but it's going to be a pretty tough day to Ruffalo. With a full card on Christmas Eve. Normally a day where there's just one game, and a day that we struggle, and a day that Chris will take a Ruffalo. But the thing is that, we've got just two of these Mondays this year, and it's nice, where we have just a light schedule. Today we have 4 games, and then I believe the Monday, not next Monday, but the following Monday, I think it's October 8th, is a tough one because it's the wild cards start on Tuesday. So the only thing that we'll have is Monday Night Football. We might have, if there are teams that have to play it off, for the division or for the wild card or anything like that, that we'll have on that day as well. But looks right now like it's just going to be Monday Night Football that day, which is going to make for a tough day at the office for us. A lot of, interesting games as usual. NFL Sunday, only 3 NFL teams are undefeated after 3 weeks. This is how hard it is to run the table in the NFL and how, just anything can happen on any given day. And one of those teams actually plays tonight, so it could be 2 after that. And, you look at last night's game, 11-10. It's... I don't know, but I'm off the snide with my primetime halftimes. I had Broncos, the under, and both team totals under. Swept the board there finally on the primetime halftimes. The regular halftimes, those 1 o'clock Eastern time halftimes, we've been killing it. But those primetime halftimes, over the years, I've had like primetime halftimes where I've hit every pick, 10 shows in a row. This year I just couldn't get out of the gate, but now I'm over the hump and, probably off to the races. As most people know, those halftime shows are really my strongest picks that I have. Last night I really, really liked that one with the Broncos and the under. I just thought that, Jimmy Garoppolo, whoa, does he suck, Chris, huh?
Yeah, I was on the Niners now, and I thought we'd at least get a little bit more of a competent offensive performance, and it looked decent early on, but then, like you said, then you see the safety where he walks out of the back of the end zone, and then really neither team get anything going. It was just you were kind of waiting for Denver to sort of find themselves and deliver that sort of one death blow that San Fran just couldn't come back from, and they did it.
Seems to me that Jimmy Garoppolo is really good at completing balls to the turf. He can hit those hash markers pretty well and right on the line on the turf a few times, But really, when it comes to anywhere near one of his receivers, it's like he's allergic. The ball's like allergic. And then, the stupidity too. The stepping out of the back of the end zone, that's unforgivable. That's football 101. You know where you are on the field, right? And then, he was lucky there because it would have been a pick 6. And then, of course, taking the sack at the end of the game where you just can't take a sack in that spot. Anything but a sack, right? That's what they always say, anything but a sack. And this guy, you kind of see where the Niners were thinking about trading up to take a quarterback. Unfortunately, they took Trey Lance, but you could see why they traded up to take a quarterback and why they wanted to get rid of this guy and all those other things. It kind of all came full circle last night. But that Broncos defense is pretty good. And in all fairness, they are a fumble away from being undefeated, even though they haven't even played their best football, not even close. They are a fumble away, or 2 fumble, right? They fumbled twice going into the end zone in a game they had 1 dead to rights. So that's the NFL for you. Rod, Dolphins getting that win against Buffalo, it was a big one. And I know that, for the Dolphins, it was gigantic. Now they have a short week going to Cincinnati. And, that is never easy. Now you have to play against the team that went to the Super Bowl last year. They kind of played their best game of the season on Sunday against the Jets. What do you think? Tua a little banged up as well.
Yeah, Tua's a little banged up. All I hear is the talk that he shouldn't have come back in that game. That maybe the concussion protocol gave him a little slip by, and he went right on through in that one. But yeah, the Dolphins got the win, and they continue to roll. And you look at the Bengals; they kind of got right yesterday and got themselves a win, and looked like the Bengals of old. So tough spot coming up, but I got faith. The Dolphins' defense looks really good. They held down that Buffalo offense. Holding that Buffalo offense to 19 points, that was a great job. So it's not only the offense that's rolling, the Dolphins' D is rolling, which is really good to see.
I'll tell you, the addition of Melvin Ingram just has been sensational, and I would say, while he doesn't get the recognition of a lot of the players out there right now, he would be the defensive player of the week, the defensive player of the month, and the defensive player of the year. He had that touchdown against New England as well as the plays that he made in yesterday's game. He was just everywhere in that game. He decapitated Josh Allen a few times. We haven't seen Josh Allen, who's known as a tough guy. We haven't seen him shaken up like he was shaken yesterday. I mean, he was absolutely just whacked a few times in that game. But we are getting into that time of the year. It's like that first game of the season, kind of get all the rust out, and kind of, get in sync. And then game 2, it's kind of like, well, now we've got the rust out. Now we get to actually play. And now you're in game 3, and it's kind of like you're in the routine again. And, and now everyone's had a home game, and everyone, it's kind of, now we're really going to be into the thick of things, and the injuries will start to mount for a lot of these teams as well. And for us as well, I've been bruised a few times on these games, no doubt about it. I was on the Chiefs yesterday. I got bruised on that thing, but I had a few good wins too. So, it goes both ways in that one. Chris, who's the most surprising NFL team to you to the upside?
For me, probably the Giants, and we'll have to see how that fares going into tonight. But it kind of, at times, it's made me wonder, what could have been if this team was actually healthy the entire time that we've seen, Daniel Jones. I know he's had issues with turnovers early on in his career, but again, there was a lot of times where, his best guys were out of the lineup, like Sterling Shepard. We missed Saquon Barkley for pretty much the entire season. And just makes you wonder if maybe a couple of those 4-win seasons maybe could have been seasons closer to 500 if he actually had a full lineup. And we're starting to see, at least the benefits of it early on this season.
How about you, Rod? Who's the surprise team for you to the upside?
Detroit. You look at that offense on Detroit. They just keep racking up the points. They've tough loss yesterday. I think they should have beat the Vikings in that one. But that Giants or the Detroit team definitely looks bright for them. Their offense is rolling. Their defense is good. Their coach is good. They get, I think, nothing to hang your head at. And I think me bashing them and going there awful pretty bad. I think Swift and they're starting to put pieces together. Watch out. I think the Lions are coming.
Yeah, for me, it's the Eagles. Jalen Hurts just not on my radar still, and we're getting to the point where I'm gonna have to maybe backtrack on some of my comments, but we'll have to see. A lot of football left to be played, and Jalen Hurts certainly capable of blowing some big games. We've seen him do that throughout his college career as well. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. But so far, he has been lights out, and through 3 games. There is 14 more games ahead of him in the regular season, so we're not crowning anyone the MVP or the world champions yet. How about to the downside, Chris? To me, I thought the LA Chargers were the most overrated team coming into this season, and so far they've proved me to be correct in that regard. Their one win was against the Raiders on opening day, and even in that one, they left the door wide open for the Raiders to win that game. What do you think, Chris?
It is, to be taken with a grain of salt, but I think Tampa Bay, I know injuries have played a lot into that, but you always think of Tom Brady. You think of a dynamic offense, and that he's going to be able to move the football downfield, but the offense has been disappointing. Only scored 12 points yesterday. I think they struggled to get to 20 against Tampa Bay. They had to kick 4 field goals, and we're lucky to get a touchdown against Dallas in the opener. I think Tampa Bay for me. I think this is a team that definitely disappointed compared to what we thought was going to happen coming into the year.
Do you think that Brady has too much say in the offense with having a defensive head coach now, with Bruce Arians, no longer coaching the team, Todd Bowles taking over?
Potentially, but I think that's what we've always seen with a Todd Bowles led team. I think we saw it when he was with the Jets, and I think like I said, we're seeing it now. I think Tom Brady, it's almost like the LeBron James thing where he's the coach and GM of a part of the team. While Tom Brady is too much of a say in the offense, and I think at a certain point you got to have a leader that's going to sort of take the reins out of the quarterback's hands, as good as Tom Brady has been. So yeah, I think that could definitely be a detriment.
Rod, how about you?
And for me, the biggest disappointment you got to look is the Raiders here. You look at the Raiders, 0-3 to start the year. Who would have thought the Raiders would have started the season 0-3? You figured they were going to improve to start the season. They looked pretty good last week going along, and so far this season, not looking so good.
Rough schedule. Rough schedule.
Rough schedule to start. Yeah, we'll give them that.
But there's no easy games in the NFL.
But no,
definitely rough.
So
schedule.
For me, it's the Raiders. We'll see what they can do going forward, but they look like a nice fade the rest of the year to me. And no faith in the Raiders.
Got any coaches that you think are either on the hot seat or coordinators or anything that you think are on the rise, Chris? Any like units that you think are coaches that are just probably might be in trouble.
Well, the obvious answer here would be Matt Rule. Considering that's
he
what
makes
a
lot of money. I mean, it would be. I would, before you say that, I would say, look at the contract.
No, I know, and yeah,
he's not in any trouble whatsoever. I mean,
yeah,
he makes. He has a contract where it would be very, very tough to fire him at this point in the contract.
Yeah. Well, the other name I was going to throw out, and I think it's only because we're seeing with Justin Herbert's injury, but Brandon Staley could be on the hot seat if you have another couple rough outings. The seat could be very warm because I think expectations have been sky high for the Chargers this year. They see what the ceiling was with Justin Herbert leading the way, and expectations were to fight for the division this year, and it posted double-digit win total. And right now, after getting their doors blown off by Jacksonville yesterday, we'll have to see if that's just an anomaly or if this is a Chargers team that maybe needs some new leadership that could be in trouble right now.
So Rule's on a 7-year, $60-something million contract, and but there's talks that he could go, but I don't know how much of it is him. So it's 7 years, $60 million. So it's about eight and change, $8.5 million a year that you're into him for. He signed that in January 2020. So you're in the front end of that thing. Rod, how about you? Any coaches you think are gone? Bill Belichick.
Yeah, he's
I think he's going to retire.
He's staying where he's going to retire pretty soon. Yeah,
I think so.
I think he's well on his way to retire.
Looking for the record, probably from Shula's record.
Mike McCarthy, we know, and he's on the hot seat.
Yep.
Ronner, I think, at the Commanders. I think he's on the hot seat. There's
after
the
yesterday.
Hot seat. Commanders definitely not good. Definitely not looking good. I think his butt's on fire. Ron Rivera is going to be the next coach fired.
I think Josh McDaniels is permanently on the hot seat whenever he takes a head coaching job, and now at 0-3 is.
I would say for me, D'Amico Ryans, they were showing him a lot on the sideline for the 49ers yesterday, man. This guy's going to be a good head coach. He was a great player, man. Texas A&M, right? Houston Texans.
Yeah. I forgot about D'Amico Ryans.
Man, they showed him last night. He looks like he's like 15 years old, and I'll tell you, man, he's going to be a good head coach. He's got that defense. It certainly wasn't the Niners defense why they lost that game. No way. Yeah. It was Jimmy Garoppolo. A a lot of people going to be after D'Amico Ryans. He was always like a coach on the field. How about for college, Chris? We head into week 5 this week. Not a lot of big games, big matchups. This is kind of a good meat and potatoes week in college football. A lot of teams have bye weeks this week as well. My Miami Hurricanes, just, one of the worst losses in program history, I would say. We've had some tough ones. We've had, worse losses, but that one hurt because it felt like we were on our way back. And, I think it just showed us that we are a little bit further away than we thought. But at the same time, we know we have a ton of talent on the roster. So not a ton of concern, but certainly a little disheartening to lose that type of game. But, we got some chances to certainly make amends for it later on in the season. That's the beauty of playing in the ACC. We've got Clemson and Florida State both on the schedule. So win both those games, all is forgotten. Right? That's the beauty of it. Any teams out there that you think are just, super disappointing this year, or, teams that flying under the radar? I think, some of these, I think once again, Coastal Carolina, Liberty, these same teams, they just, continue to deliver. I mean, Liberty lost one game by 1 point to Wake. That's it.
Yeah, for me, it's still Western Kentucky. I mean, this is a team that I could argue could be 4-0 with that win over they had gotten that win over Indiana, but the offense has hummed along despite, changing from Bailey Zappi at quarterback to now Austin Reed, who was a D2 quarterback, and he's come up. He's still, he threw for 4,000 yards in D2 and stepped up in the offense. It looks like it hasn't skipped a beat, just hung 73 on FIU, but maybe that's not saying a whole lot. But I'm still impressed with Western Kentucky, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. Maybe I have to start putting a little bit of respect on Indiana's name. I know it's Tom Allen, but they could easily be 4-1 after this week with a matchup against Nebraska, and all of a sudden this could be an 8 or 9 win team. With Connor Bazelak, a quarterback, former Missouri quarterback.
Didn't they get slaughtered this week?
I thought they won.
They beat Cincinnati? No.
Oh wait, no, they didn't. No, they did. Oh, sorry. No, you're right. Yeah, but I still think this is still a team that if you had told me at this point in the year they would be 4-1 if they get the win over Nebraska, I would have thought maybe you were crazy. I would have thought maybe 2-3 if they were lucky.
You're crazy. What about Washington State's quarterback from Incarnate Word? You think people are going to start looking to some of these teams for quarterbacks? I mean, I know they didn't win the game. They didn't hold on to win, but it certainly wasn't his fault.
No. Yeah, no, I definitely think that, you're going to start seeing a lot more of these these FCS and D2 quarterbacks make the jump because there's some gold hidden there. And then, I don't know. Like you said, we've seen it from Washington State's quarterback, like I mentioned, Western Kentucky. A lot of transfers coming in that could make a difference.
Rod, how about you? Any of these teams you're looking at? College football.
For me, you got to look at Penn State. Surprised people 4-0 to start the season, playing really well.
Did not cover against Central.
The other one
this past weekend.
Did not. No. I don't think they were trying to. They just wanted to win in that one. Got the win nicely. Another team, you look at the Washington Huskies. They're 4-0 as quietly 4-0.
In
I think
a
they're going to
conference,
roll on. Dennis Jr.'s looking real good there.
In a conference where you can really make a move quickly because USC seen as one of the top teams there, but I mean I think that Washington offense is going to just carve them up and spit them out. I mean when they get their chance. Yeah.
Big disappointment. Colorado's awful. Buffaloes doesn't look scary to go play in
I would
Colorado
say
anymore. Not this year, anyways.
They might be trying to call D'Amico Ryans there at Colorado to take over the head coaching job.
Right.
Certainly have the money to do it, but let's get to Monday Night Football. We've got the Giants taking on the Cowboys. This is a classic NFC East battle. We've seen backup quarterbacks and stuff in this game, many times throughout the years. They always seem to play in these weird, a lot of weird scores in these games. And this one, they don't have a number out there that's going to really affect it. in any way. So the weird 1916, 1917. Did you hear them say last night during the game? And I listened to the sound after the halftime show. They said there's only been one game in history that ended 11-10. There was only one game in the history of the NFL. There's
only one, eh?
Yeah, in history that ended 11-10, and the score was 7-5 for a while, and there was only one game in history that it was 7-5. That was 1936.
Holy, like a long time ago.
I like a defensive game. I like it. I think tonight we see one again. I think it's, this year's, someone said in the comments when Jay and I were on at halftime last night that you should just throw the unders out the window in the NFL. But this year, I think it's been pretty undery, I think there's been a lot of unders. I saw a ton of them yesterday.
Yeah. I think the under 30, I think it's
all the afternoon games.
Yeah, it's like 30, 17, and 1, I think I saw this season for the under.
For the under, right? Yeah, it's been all unders. Over under. Because teams have changed their defenses. We saw the Niners change their defense, right, into this, weird, basically the whole idea now, it used to be, so the way that they did it before, the answer was before that you get these guys that play man coverage. You guys, if you've ever seen this show, then you've heard me say this before, is you get these guys that run like 4.2 40s, the fastest guys on the field that can jump the highest. You put them on corners in man coverage, and then you blitz everybody else. You force the quarterback to make a bad throw, and hopefully this guy can outjump a receiver or run down the bad pass better than the receiver can. And that is how you play defense in the NFL now, because they don't allow you to cover any other way and you just blitz on every single play. But now what we're starting to see is you pay up for defensive ends that can rush the passer. You pay up for nose tackles that not only can stop the run, but can create that pressure up the middle like Chris Jones does. And then you drop everybody else back. And you make the quarterback try and weave their way down. And if they're going to beat you, you're not seeing these long touchdowns this year. You're not seeing them. Not even Jefferson or anything like that. Where you're seeing them is just, you're seeing some. That's part of the game. But like Chenot's touchdown yesterday, that was basically just a missed tackle, that they went. But it's rare that you're seeing these guys just throwing it down the field. You've seen Tua hit a couple of them. But, he throws the best ball in the league.
Yeah.
As I said he would last year. And you guys mocked me.
Wait, because you even see Russell. You even see Russell Wilson. He doesn't. Usually that's what he's king of the downfield ball. And
yep.
Well, he got one yesterday, and that was only because it was an offside. He was like, "Yes, you're offside. Yes, I got to throw one deep." And you can tell he got all excited. He was getting to throw one deep. So that away from him, and that's why Russell Wilson's struggling. They learned what he liked to do, and they're like, "Yeah, no, just take away the deep ball, make him hit the underneath stuff." A lot of teams are doing that. Definitely, I agree.
Yeah, but Tua, man, he could really, really throw it. And it's like when I said it last year, people were, I got ripped in the comments for the entire season for those comments. But boy, he's proven it. There's a reason he was supposed to go number 1 overall, and right now he's better than Herbert. Anyways, Chris, what do you think about tonight's game with the Cooper Rush-led Cowboys up against Daniel Jones and the Giants? I did my 7 free props in just 5 minutes, but I'm gonna have to rename that show. It takes me more than 5 minutes, and I just can't even say. I'm gonna say 7 props in less than 7 minutes is what I'm gonna rename it. It just takes that long, but to do it. But and I'm rushing. You guys see me. I'm rushing through it. But all the props for tonight's game. All the trends, everything says under on every single prop. Daniel Jones passing yards, Cooper Rush passing yards, Ezekiel Elliott rushing yards, CeeDee Lamb receiving yards, Saquon Barkley receiving yards. All those things were all under when I did, the show this morning. And I don't dig through the betting tools to do that, but I like doing it. I like the 7 props. I'm gonna gonna make a new intro for it today. I picked out the music. It's good. You guys are gonna like it. But I'm gonna call it 7 props in under 7 minutes because it's like I can't do 5 minutes on the props.
You can give yourself a couple extra minutes of wiggle room, an extra 40%.
Yeah, I just need some wiggle room.
Well, for me today, I like the under. I do like the under in this game. I think this is going to be a game that's played a lot between the 20s. It's going to be hard hitting, battle in the trenches, and I think this is a first to 20 wins kind of game if we even get that high on both sides. So I really like the under in this spot.
Giants 12-1 to the under. The last 13 games. Rod, what do you like?
And for me, this one, it's a divisional battle, so it's going to be hard hitting, slobber knocker because you look at both offenses and they definitely are anemic. Definitely not racking up the points on the offense side of the ball on both teams. So I have to agree there. For me, I'm going to take the under first half. I was just trying to find a number what the under is in the first half because I think you got a lower scoring one in the first half. Feeling each other out to start the game. A lot of running. I think both teams are going to run the ball a lot because we know that's what they like to do. So I agree. I like the first half under in this one.
Yeah, I just think
with the second half. But
the Cowboys are the kings of the first quarter and the first half. So it's like that's one of the streaks that's out there. The Cowboys first quarter, first half, 6 in a row on each of those things. But to me, it's like, we've seen Cooper Rush look pretty decent. We saw him look good last week and, at least in the first half of the game. And, we saw him look good when he came in for Dak. But the thing that happens, and I say this all the time in all the sports, is that when you have a guy that doesn't play that much, and when you see him and he's, even when you see him and he's with other players, like, the NFL teams from year to year and baseball teams year to year are not the same teams. A baseball pitcher is generally the same guy unless he learns a new pitch. So having film on him is having film on him. But an NFL quarterback, you have a different talent surrounding you on the team. And, having Amari Cooper as the primary target as opposed to, well, nobody, right, on the Cowboys as a primary target, is a lot different. And having, Ezekiel Elliott considered to be the guy carrying the bulk of the load, as opposed to, really split time back is what he is right now. A little different. So the more film they get on Cooper Rush, the less effective he is going to be. And that is it's just straight facts. It's just the way that it is. And, I just think that, the Giants are going to know this. And it's like, we've seen the Giants this year, and this is Giant football. I mean, I'm not a Giant fan. I'm not a Daniel Jones fan, and I'm not even a Barkley fan. I'm really not. I just don't like the whole thing, right? I don't like the whole Giant thing. But that is their game, It's that sloppy, messy Bears-style football, right? Giants and Bears, it's kind of like, who the hell even knows what's going on out there? It doesn't, like a Bears game, doesn't look anything like a Chiefs game, right? I mean, these are just two opposite, or a Rams game, right, and a Bears game. These just don't even look like they're playing the same sport, right? They don't even look like they're on the same level, but it works for them, And I think we're probably going to see some of that tonight, just weird bounces and, questionable play calls, and probably a lot of very conservative stuff going on.
Hiding an elbow when you're not looking type thing.
These teams do not like each other.
No.
Waiting for the referee call for giving him the business.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, it should be a good one. I'll be on at halftime with Jay Briggs. We don't have to we don't even have to ask Jay who he's on in this one. Cowboy fans always get so excited about their team, and they're so crappy for so long, right? I mean, they've been so bad since Jimmy Johnson left, right? I mean, they won one with Switzer, but I mean, it was leftover Jimmy. But they've been so bad, right, for so long. It's like real bad.
It's like being a Leafs fan
or a Dolphin fan.
Same, right? Cheered for him so long, and it's like,
don't twist the knife.
Twist the knife? I'm a Leafs fan too, right? I'm going to wear.
I know you are, but you don't need to.
I was surprised Jay was so critical of Russell Wilson last night during the halftime. Man, I think Russell Wilson, and it's like his style of play, like Rod was saying, it's like it requires that chemistry with his receivers and with his team, and that's going to happen over time. You know, that improvisation, that running around and knowing that that guy's going to be in that spot. It just takes time, you know, and it's like he doesn't have that with these guys yet. I mean, you put Lockett in a Broncos uniform, and you're going to, I'll tell you what, you're not going to say those things about Russell Wilson, you know. He's going to know exactly where he is.
Well, yeah, because eventually he's just going to be like nailing those underneath routes. I'd be like, nail, and they'll be like, you keep covering me deep. I'll just keep marching 8 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 7 yards, and he'll pound you that way.
So, Chris, what are you selling tonight?
I'd say I got my $15 pickoff play for the MLB. Made it 4 in a row yesterday. Looking to start the week with 5. Also got my $15 Monday night NFL max out, and looking for something long term. Still, now is a great time to hop on. You got MLB, you got NHL coming up. You know, football. Thursday, is it Thursday this week? No. Well, NFL, but no, I don't think college. Friday, Saturday. Tons of action. So hop on something. Use that promo code WIN15 while you still can.
Speaking of NHL, you got a 4-team NHL preseason parlay lock for us?
Don't know about that, but I'll do some research.
All right. I know Rod's probably got some opinions on that, but anyways, Rod, what do you got for sale today?
I got a couple of preseason locks.
Sure.
But 2-0 actually.
Well, we got a game with a 4:00 start. So why not?
Why not, right? That's probably the split squad game that's going, because there's a split squad game. They would play one early.
Florida, Cashville.
I think the Panthers are on.
Yeah.
Yep. See, yeah, that's the early game. They're playing in the night game too, so they're on a doubleheader in that.
So you have backup goalie versus backup goalie. Is that what goes on in this, or third string goalie versus third string goalie?
Yeah. Might be even the fourth string goalie, because sometimes they bring him up too in these preseason.
Who's the rented goalie? Who's got the rented goalie going? We know everyone on these rosters can shoot a puck. We know that. So it's like, who's the lousy goalie?
Don't bring up the emergency goalie around a Leafs fan, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Because we had that game against Carolina. We had that game against Carolina where they called it an emergency goalie, and I don't remember what the guy's job was, but he stopped like 16 of 18 shots against the Leafs.
Who's the Zamboni driver?
Yeah. Oh, was he? Yeah, I remember his name.
Yeah, he was the Zamboni driver.
I like Montreal.
So for me, for sale over picked up.
I'll take Montreal.
Montreal over New Jersey?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I like that. New Jersey's on my list to be bottom of this season. They're not going to be good.
They have props on who's going to win the opening face-off on that one. Well, if you were to bet, the opening face-off in the preseason Montreal versus Jersey matchup, I don't know. It's out there. Rod, what do you got for sale?
For me, over picked up. I got my $15 Monday Night Football Gridiron Crusher. You can scoop that up alone by itself. Or I got my Monday Insiders Info 3-pack, where you get my 3 best bets in Monday's action. I got 2 MLB Crushers, and my 10-star Gridiron Crusher is included in the Monday Insiders Info package. Head on over to Pick Dogs Premium, scoop it up, and as we said, use that promo code WIN15, save 50% off on all purchases over at Pick Dogs Premium.
Montreal plus 115 in that game versus the Devils tonight.
Right, I like that. Montreal comes out and gets themselves a win.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
And then look at the unbelievable. They got the Kraken at -159. Give me the Oilers.
They're smoking Kraken in that one.
Yeah, right. I'm not laying -160 with the Kraken.
Do I look like I'm laying -160 with the Kraken?
Right? I'll take the Oilers plus 145 in that one. Rookies are playing lights out. Dylan Holloway just lighting the lamp. Take him to win Rookie of the Year.
I like preseason hockey better than I like regular season hockey. I'm one of the few. I follow only NHL preseason. Regular season, nah, not so much.
No,
Preseason, I'm in.
The pennies got you during the regular season, so that's why.
I gotta find a new penny here. We go to Major League Baseball, and we got the Pirates taking on the Reds. Ronzi Contreras on the mound here. I think this guy eventually is going to be really good. We've seen some really good stuff from him up against Chase Anderson, who we love to fade. But can you lay -155 on the Pirates? Ugh, it's tough. Chris, any opinion of this one?
Yeah, it is tough, but I can't believe I'm going to say it's in a Chase Anderson game. I'm going to go with the under in this one, mainly because Contreras has been good outside of getting rocked by the Yankees in his last start, but a lot of pitchers are going to get hit by the Yankees. And prior to that, Contreras had allowed 1 run or less in 4 straight starts. And I think you can hold down the Reds, who are pretty much a bare bones lineup at this point. In Chase Anderson, he's actually given up 1 run in back-to-back wins, 5 innings in each. I think he can actually hold down a soft-hitting Pirates lineup, so I like the under in this one.
All right, Chris, thanks for confirming something we suspected for quite some time. You're an idiot. Rod, what do you got?
For me, this one, I'm gonna take Chase Anderson. Just like you said, he's been pitching well lately. His last 3, 2-1 with a 2.57 ERA and a 0.71 WHIP. He's been pitching well, so I'll take the Reds here. I know the Pirates, I believe, have won the last 4 against the Reds, but time for that streak to end. Reds get one here. Give me the Reds.
I'm taking the
-150 with the Pirates.
I'm taking the Pirates and Pirates first 5 with Rowanzi. I really think this guy's going to be really good. I do. I think he's going to be one of these guys that's going to be like a sub 2.5 ERA guy. When all is said and done, he has that kind of stuff. So I'm going to take the Pirates first 5, Pirates for the game. We go to our next game on the board. You know what a board it is. We've got the Nationals up against the Braves. Bryce Elder gets the start here. It's funny because you ever see Book of Mormons, the play. It's Elder Price, and this one it's Bryce Elder. It's kind of like it sounds made up. Hello, my name is Bryce Elder. I'd like to share this book with you. This book will change your life. Hello.
Like that was what was on the end table in the delivery room.
Hello.
And that's how it came to be.
I love that. I usually go to 1 play a year with my wife. It's like I suck it up. It's like I always try and pick a good one. And Book of Mormon was like one of my favorite. Hello.
Jeez.
Sure, friends in Utah appreciate it. Salt Lake City.
Speaking of which, I gotta remember I PVR'd Sister Wives.
There you go.
I gotta remember to take some time out of my day to watch that. But now for this one, I'm gonna go with the Braves. Maybe I take them on the run line. However you want to take it. I don't mind. It's 269 in my money line wheelhouse, but I might lay the run line here mainly because I know Bryce Elder, not necessarily a consistent starter in this Braves rotation, but he did hold the Nats to 1 run over 5 2/3 in his last start. And the Braves need to win these games if the weekend series with the Mets is going to have any weight in the division series, or sorry, the division race. I think the Braves get the win here. I'm not a fan of Corey Abbott. He's been getting roughed up in his last few starts in a small sample size. So give me the Braves in the run line in this one.
And for me in this one, you look. It was time between these two teams when Elder was starting. He pitched, and Abbott pitches better at home, so he's got a 3.27 ERA at home. I know he's 0-1, but small sample size there. So I'm going to take the +1.5 here with the Washington Nationals. I think this is a one-run game all day. So can you give me plus money with that? So I'll take the +1.5 with the Nationals. I think it's a closer game than what people think here.
I think when you look at Abbott, it's like it's he doesn't pitch that much, right? So it's like you got to look at the bigger picture here. He doesn't go that deep into games. He is a 70 pitch max guy. The deeper he goes into games, the deeper doo-doo he steps in. And I don't know. I'm not a big Bryce Elder guy, to be honest with you. He just seems to always be in trouble, too. I like the over in this game. I think we're going to see a crap ton of runs. I'm going to go with the over in this. Go to our next game. It's a light card. If you were to bet the opening face-off at the Vegas preseason game tonight against the Kings, who do you think might win that opening face-off, Chris? I mean, by chance, asking for a friend.
Let's go Vegas.
All right. I think
Let's go Kings.
This is the type of bet where the book maxes you out at like $200. Like the most you can bet on it is $200.
Right? Yeah, you can't bet.
It's like they do not allow it.
What do you mean you're trying to bet $10,000 on the opening face-off? What do you mean?
They do not allow it. They do not
Come
allow
on.
it. They do not allow it. They do not allow it. I know that for a fact. Toronto Blue Jays up against the Yankees. Kevin Gausman against Severino. I rarely take the Yankees, but, well, I even more rarely take Kevin Gausman. So, yeah, I'm going the Yankees in this one. You're getting him as a dog. I don't see it. Without the travel restrictions, the Blue Jays aren't going to be quite the same home team that they've been. That's for sure. Chris?
I'm going to go with the Blue Jays in this one. I know, taking Kevin Gausman might be crazy, but he's held the Yankees in check for much of this season. I think it's 2 runs he's allowed across 11+ innings in 2 starts against the Yankees. And the Blue Jays, they've been playing their better ball at home as of late, and I think that the Blue Jays can win one here. This series means just as much to Toronto, maybe even a little bit more so than it does to the Yankees here, who are pretty much already getting the first round bye. Toronto's still trying to fight for that positioning in the wild card race, and are starting to focus on the wild card. I think the Yankees too far ahead for the division now. So give me the Blue Jays in this one.
Yep, I agree with you. Gausman sucks balls. Rod?
I do agree. Gausman does suck balls. I'm a Jays fan, and I feel like all year he's awful. I can't do it. For me, I'm going to take the Yankees on the run line, on the reverse run line here. Give me on the -1.5, big plus money on that. I think they blow the Jays out of the water. I'm not a Gausman fan at all. He's burnt me too many times. I had faith in him early, and he was awful. Don't have faith in him at all. And you look at the Blue Jays giving up home runs. I think someone's going to hit 61 today. The Blue Jays love giving home runs up at the Rogers Center. They're averaging over 1.1 home runs a game, giving up this season. So I'm going to take the Yankees here. You give me too much plus money for them to come in and blow up the Blue Jays in this one. Everybody's going to hump up on the Blue Jays. Oh, the Yankees played in the night game. Oh. I'll take the Yankees.
Take the Yankees also. Go to our last game on the card. It is the Red Sox against the Orioles. Connor Seabold up against Jordan Lyles. Yuck. Chris.
I'm going to take the Orioles in this one. I have zero faith in Connor Seabold, and the Orioles still hanging on by a thread in the playoff race. And I think Jordan Lyles, the veteran pitcher here, can come in. This is what they kind of rely on him for, is just for experience in these bigger situations. And I think Lyles can get the job done. Maybe it's a fade of Connor Siebold more than anything else, but give me the Orioles in this one.
Rod?
For me in this one, I'm going to take the under first 5. I think we got a lower scoring early in this game. Lyles has a good start. You look, the last time Lyles did face against this Boston team, it was not pretty. I believe he gave up 8 runs. And for that to happen again is usually pretty rare. So I think Lyles comes out and has a good start. And we got lower scoring first 5. I don't know what happens after that because you get the bullpens and all heck can break loose. So I'll take the under first 5 in this one.
I did props on my 7 free props in under 7 minutes, which I called in just 5 minutes, but it's not going to be 5 minutes. It takes way longer than that. Siebold over, strikeouts, Lyles under. So Lyles gets a lot of guys out. He doesn't strike a lot of guys out. And Siebold doesn't get a lot of guys out, but the ones that he does, he strikes them out. So just the way that it is. Chris, do you have any parlay today? You can include preseason NHL props if you like.
I'm going to try to not do that. But now I'll go with the Yurfee in the Braves and Nationals. And I'll throw in a player prop in there as well. And I'll parlay that with Jake Fraley to hit a home run for the Cincinnati Reds.
What's your preferred French fry? I know, like, lately I've seen, like, a lot of these fries have batter on the outside, more like flour coated or something. What's your favorite fry? Like, steak fry, you like the crinkle cut, you like, what's your preference?
Best fry that I think I could say is McDonald's fries when they're fresh.
Fresh McDonald's fry. So the shoestring fry.
Yeah, they make a good French fry when it's fresh.
Fresh McDonald's fries. I don't think I've had those in, God.
Just fresh McDonald's fries or McDonald's fries in general?
McDonald's fries in general. I don't think I've had them since like the Jimmy Carter administration or something. Maybe before. 70s. When they used the beef fat. Rod?
That's when they used the beef fat, right? See, beef fat in the French fries. That's the way to go.
I wouldn't lie about that.
Yep. Big block comes in a big block.
Anyone knows about a block of beef fat
before you get it in.
Well, Rod, if there's anyone that's going to know about the block of beef fat, I think we've come to the right place.
Yeah, my favorite fry. I love the curly fry. How can you not love the curly fry? I love the curly fry.
So,
but
like,
if I'm
the
gonna put
curly
stuff
fry
on something, like,
often comes seasoned. And batter dipped.
I like the spicy curly fry. So it's
spicy curly.
Yeah.
What do you think of the? Why do they batter dip the fries? Those. Why do they put this batter on it or flour or whatever it is on the fry? Stays longer.
It's a cornstarch mix. It's a cornstarch mix, right? So then what happens is because what they do is they pre-cook your fry, right? Like when you get it, so that way you can put them in the oven and they cook in half an hour. They pre-cook your fries. So what they do is they blanch. What they call is they blanch your fries. It comes through the thing. They coat it in the cornstarch.
In beef fat?
It blanches through the thing, and that way you get more. Yeah, probably in beef fat. and then they flash freeze them and cool them, so they have that crispy. But they want so you get a crispier fry in the oven. That's why they've been putting that coating on there. But most people these days, you throw it in the air fryer. It's better than the oven.
I don't like the air fryer. Not a fan.
You have to watch because it'll go from being good to really, really dry because that's what it is. It's an air fryer, so it's drying out your food is what it's doing. But the trick is you take that zero fat cooking spray and spray some of that on top in the air fryer. And then that'll give you a little more crisp on things and give you more of that deep fried fryer flavor. And then I like the crinkle cut fry because the crinkle cut fry has those little ridges. It's like a pasta. You want those little ridges. So that way you can pour grit or toppings and then it gets absorbed and you get more of that stuff in it. So if I'm having poutine, I like the crinkle cut.
I can't stand that batter on my fries. Hate it. I like a crinkle cut or steak fry, either one, but I don't like that batter on it. If they have batter on it, I don't eat them at all. I like just the regular potato.
straight to potato.
Did you give a parlay, Rod?
Yeah, for me, we're just a two-teamer. We're going to take the Oilers over the Kraken, and we're going to take the Rangers over the Islanders. Two-teamer in hockey preseason.
I'll take the
Rangers, Oilers.
Pirates, Braves over, and the Yankees. Mitch, thanks for joining us. Make it a winning day. Our premium VIP show. I mean, I don't even know if we're going to do it. Maybe we'll do it, but I don't even have a pick. So, all right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.